Hey there, everybody. How is it going? Sorry it's taking us so long to get this thing going. For some reason, the what's it called? For some reason, the Discord wasn't working for one of our podcast members. So we had to switch over to Skype. But we're on now, and we're here. First off, it's myself, the introduction. My name is BridgetownBS. I am the founder of PopulaceGaming. And before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us everywhere we are on Facebook, Twitter, here on Twitch, YouTube, and Mixer. Also, shout out to our affiliate sponsor, Origin PC, for all your Origin PC needs, gaming PCs, software, hardware, gear, just in general. Make sure you go and check out Origin PC. Their links are down below here on Twitch. If you guys are watching this elsewhere, go ahead and jump on PopulaceGaming.com and head over to Origin PC with the links we got provided. If you guys buy anything using one of our links, then it will help us give you guys a better quality stream by providing a little bit of revenue for us to continue moving forward with this. Let's see here. Make sure you subscribe here on Twitch. If you guys are Twitch Prime members or Amazon Prime members, you guys get one free subscription every month. And we hope that you use it here with us at Populace Gaming. If you guys hadn't seen the Tech Raptor article that was written about the team and myself, make sure you go and click on the link on Tech Raptor, here on Twitch, I should say, the Tech Raptor link. Thank you to whoever that was. I didn't get a chance to see what popped up. I forgot. I didn't get to see it. Oh well. So make sure you guys click on that, take a read, maybe learn a little bit more about Populace Gaming and myself, BridgetownBS. Also, just wanted to make sure I introduce everybody who's here with us tonight. Unfortunately, I don't think Maeve is gonna make it tonight, but we do have Most Wanted Mex, Ashton Lilly, and a newcomer to the podcast tonight, Mr. Umbersona. Why don't you guys say hello? All right. Now that hellos are out of the way, as we always do when we have a new guest here at the podcast, Umbersona, why don't you say a little bit about yourself, where people can find you, what you're all about, who you are, just real quick. What makes you you? He's a veteran as well. I mean, I'd throw that out there. I do it all the time. You just moved back to the San Bernardino area, right? Or what was it, San Bernardino County? Yeah. That heat. Can't do it. No, thank you. One other thing before we keep going. We have our 9-hour marathon this Saturday starting at noon. We're going from 12 to 9 p.m. All proceeds will go to benefit the Children's Hospital in Los Angeles and the Extra Life Foundation. So make sure you guys tune in. Come on in, say what's up. Add to the conversation that we're doing. Maybe play some games with us and see where things go. So with that, let's get into the topics of tonight. There's a few things we're going to talk about tonight. The new Team Deathmatch and the loot box giveaways on Overwatch. Disney's also being sued over spying on kids through 42 of its mobile apps. I'm sorry. Something that's recently come up, and I just read about it today that I'm actually pretty excited for. Twitch streamers using vitals to keep fans coming back and staying longer while you're watching the streams. And then Discord's also testing video calls and screen sharing through Discord. Could it signal the end of Skype, what we're on right now, actually, or the end of Google Hangouts as well? Also, we're gonna talk about Pugba and their updates and what they're saying about their updates and how many they're how quickly they've been putting them out. And then at the end, towards the end, I know we talk a lot about video games. We talk a lot about gaming news and tech news and stuff like that. But I think it's our social responsibility to talk about and discuss what's going on in Charlottesville. So we'll get to that towards the end of the stream or the podcast, I should say. And so let's start off with the team deathmatch and loot box giveaways. Uh, so the team when you're doing the team deathmatch or the deathmatch in general, all the team stuff is taken out. It's 8-player all out shootout. The game ends when one player scores 20 points. You get 1 point for every final blow that is made. Negative point if you die in case you get booped off of like a cliff or wherever you fall down a hole or whatever it might be. But if you die from environmental reasons, you will lose a point. Are you guys excited about that? This mode will soon be available live on the servers. Right now, it's only on the PTR. What do you guys think about this stuff? Do you think it takes away from the Overwatch game? Does it add to it? Do you think Overwatch really shouldn't be that type of game? I'd love to hear what you guys think. Alex, what do you think? Absolutely nothing. I see how it is. Did we lose Alex? I mean, Alex, I'm sorry. Brian, my bad. That's my fault. See, that's what happened. I'm sorry, sir. I looked over and I saw Alex's name on my Skype friends list, and I was like, oh, yeah, Alex. I just read it. Brian, what do you think about the deathmatch? Okay. Okay. Ash, I know you're a avid Overwatch player. What are your thoughts on the Overwatch deathmatch? Okay. One second, guys. 1 second. I'm getting. Oh, hold on. I see what happened. Keen, can you hear everybody? Something's going on with my Skype, and they couldn't hear you for some reason. Are you guys out there? Or is somebody watching? Can somebody verify that you can hear
Yeah,
it?
let me listen to it right now as she talks.
Let's see.
See.
Waiting for a response here from Mr. Keen of the Strife.
Yeah,
Can
I
you?
hear us.
Oh, okay. It might
Yeah,
just
it's fine.
something's going on with my thing. Use Discord as plebes. For some reason, the Discord wasn't working for one of the people on the podcast right now, so I apologize. Okay, he can hear us now. Thank God. All right, so before we get back to what we were saying here,
Rewind.
yeah, rewind real quick. Umber, I know you already said who you were and what was going on, but how about doing it one more time? Just for some reason, it wasn't going through. So go ahead and introduce yourself, Mr. Umbersona.
Hey, I'm Umbersona. I'm a Twitch streamer. Um, I met BridgetownBS on the Extra Life official channel. I was a streamer on there for a little while. Um, I'm part of Team Obsidian Entertainment's fundraising team for Children's Hospital of Orange County. Right now, I'm the #1 individual fundraiser through Extra Life for them, #3 overall fundraiser. I have $1,600 raised. I've only been streaming for about 5 months. So I'm trying to, I'm kind of new to this whole thing. I just got out of the Army in July. So I guess last month. Going back to school, doing my thing. This is my first podcast, so I probably sound a little awkward. I don't really know how to do this yet.
All you gotta do is talk, man. That's all you gotta do.
So
Yep.
it takes me a second, I guess. But yeah, I mean, so it's an honor to be on here with you guys. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I don't really know what else to say. So
all right, that's good. So catching back up to what we were trying to say, from what I understand, Brian's excited, Ashley's excited about the team deathmatch or the deathmatch in general. There's gonna be two different settings. One's gonna be team deathmatch, and then the other one's gonna be which is like a 3v3 from what I understand, and then the other one's gonna be just an all-out deathmatch, everybody versus everybody. And Brian, you want to make a quick on your points of what you say, why you're excited about it, real quick again?
Yeah, so it's I think it's pretty straightforward. Is that it's a great way to hone your skills or either learn to play new characters other than playing against AI, other than going to quick play, because people kind of suck and they kind of screw you over because they just don't know how to play. But in this, it's just you. You don't have to worry about letting down a team. You don't have to carry anybody. So like myself, I'm not a big McCree player. I barely play him.
Right.
But I know with this, I'm gonna be playing him a lot just so I can get better with him.
Well, they're saying that if you're not good with any close combat characters, that you're really going to be terrible at this deathmatch. Anybody who tanks is going to be pretty much obsolete during this deathmatch version of it. So you better get your DPS on point if you guys are going to be a part of this. Ash, what you were saying about the how you're excited about this as well?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like he was saying, I will have to get better at offensive players, which will then translate to me being better and competitive. Because yeah, I'm always tanking or supporting, so this will be a really good chance for me to hone in on my soldier skills, or what I really want to be good at is Widow, even though it'll never happen. Mm-hmm. I just have such a fangirl crush on her. That I want to be able to play her well. So yeah, Soldier and McCree and all the other fun offensive characters, I think will be a really good chance to get to play them, practice them, because you have nothing there to cover you or save you. So this will be Battle of the Flankers is what is my best guess for what we're gonna really have.
Umber, thoughts?
So I don't really play Overwatch at all. I've never played Overwatch.
You're fired, dude. You're out of here. No. Who invited this bum? Jesus.
But no. I think generally having a team deathmatch kind of setup is, as you guys are saying, really smart to develop those kind of individual offensive skills. I play a lot of Counter-Strike Global Offensive.
Okay.
And so that they have a deathmatch mode, and that to me is almost mandatory when you start playing, because aiming is really weird with a lot of the guns, and I'm sure that translates to Overwatch. Everything feels a little different, and so that provides, I think, a really safe way for people to get used to how things feel, especially in a system where you have a ton of different characters. That makes perfect sense for a game like Overwatch, in my opinion.
Real quick, and Dwimby, thank you for hosting the show right now. I appreciate that host. So yeah, I mean, personally, I'm excited that it's going to be an option and it's not going to be the center point of the game. Other than that, I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just going to be interesting to see how things go with that. And I don't know. I'm excited for it because I used to play Counter-Strike back in the day, like that and TF2 or Team Fortress, TFC, I should say it's called. So I used to play back in the day with that stuff, and it's the same kind of shit. It's just, I don't know, it's weird to see. It's gonna be weird to see how it equates into Overwatch. And like personally myself, I'm a huge tank. So I know Diva right now. They said she would be decent in the deathmatch thing, but for the most part, she's not gonna work out. You need somebody who can move around real quick and be able to put a rapid fire down. So I know I'd have to start relying on my Soldier 76 skills, and that means I have to dust off some Soldier 76. And if I can get that barbecue skin, I'm all down for it. But we'll see. So speaking of getting those skins, right now, currently, you're able to get 5 free loot boxes and a special golden loot box as long as you are an Amazon Prime or Twitch Prime member. The golden box loot box was extended until August 21st, which I believe is next Tuesday. If anybody wants to correct me, but I think it's next Tuesday. I got the calendar here.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Next Monday, actually. So next Monday, it's all the way over. So if you're already a Twitch Prime member or a Amazon Prime member, it'd behoove you to go do this if you play Overwatch. If you don't, well then it doesn't really matter to you. I know, Max, you got your stuff, right?
Yeah.
He sounds so excited. He's like, "Yeah, I got mine. It's nothing. I didn't get anything important."
Crap.
It was honestly, it was crap. I have to admit, I've gotten better stuff just playing the game than on these giveaway boxes. Ash, did you get anything good?
No. Well, on my alt account, I got the new Reaper skin.
Alt or your Smurf account?
I am not a Smurf. I placed in high silver.
Oh, okay.
Which was bullshit. I should have placed in gold, but still.
Umber, I'm not even gonna ask because I know you don't play. So, if you ever thought about playing, right now would be the time to play because you'd be getting some free stuff immediately as soon as you join. If you are an Amazon or Twitch Prime member, also if you're a Twitch Prime member or an Amazon Prime member, follow us, subscribe. It'd be awesome. You get a free subscription. I'm just gonna plug that one more time because fucking why not, right? Anything else on the deathmatch you guys may be excited or you want to mention real quick before we move on?
I watched the best Widowmaker ever take on Deathmatch and win it, and it was pretty amazing. But
Really?
that's what got me really interested in it. Yeah, it's this guy Pierre. That's in a Overwatch group I'm in, and he is a ridiculously good Widow. He literally does trick shots in competitive. Does 720 spin trick shots, headshots. And he showed himself doing the Deathmatch and just wrecked face. It was amazing. That's what made me really excited. I was like, maybe I can learn Widow. Maybe.
Brian, any last things on the deathmatch?
Can they give me the $100,000 grand prize winnings?
Oh, I wish, right? Because if you get in that thing, come on, man. We're not that lucky. We're not that lucky. We're not that lucky. So remember, guys, if you do play, first player to score 20 points. 1 point for every kill blow, and -1 for every time you get booped off or something like that. So, moving on to Disney right now, one of the biggest companies in the world, is being sued over their spying on kids through a bunch of its mobile apps that they have. The lawsuit actually encompasses Disney and 3 of its software partners: Upsite, Unity, and Kochava, I believe it's called. The data was sold to third parties for ad targeting. And they're saying that this lawsuit violates the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, which protects children's privacy online. They're not allowed to get any information or hand out any information without their parents' consent. To that, I do have a little bit of to that. We'll get to that in a second. But this is not the first time Disney has faced COPPA violations, COPPA being an acronym for Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. In 2011, they were penalized to the tune of $3 million, a payout to pay parents or families back for stealing or using information without their knowledge and selling it to advertisers and stuff like that for revenue. So apparently, personal information of hundreds of thousands of children under the age of 13 without parents' prior consent was given away. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys do you feel like this is a blatant violation of COPPA, or do you think Disney is just trying to be, what a company's supposed to do and try and get more people, trying to sell advertising space, I guess? What do you guys just thought? Umber, I'll start with you because I know you have a couple kids.
Yeah, so I have 4 kids, and this kind of stuff is always very egregious in my opinion. I think especially a company like Disney, who's already making buku bucks, it's just ridiculous for them to do these kind of shady things and then project the hey, you remember us from your childhood, parents. We're this amazing, wholesome company. And they're doing this kind of backroom deal, taking taking all this information on my kids so they can better cater towards getting them to get me to buy them stuff. It's like, bro, come on. As if Disney needs any help promoting their brand name.
True.
I think this kind of stuff is ridiculous.
I mean, and some of the games, if you guys read through them, Avengers.net, Beauty and the Beast. I'm sure that's really huge right now because of the movie that came out. What else we got? Toy Story, Cars. Oh my God, Cars everywhere. Build It, Frozen, DuckTales Remastered. I can't believe they were getting shit off of DuckTales Remastered. Don't fuck with my DuckTales, god damn it. Moana's Island Life, Olaf's Adventures, Temple Run Oz, Temple Run Brave, The Lion Guard, which my smallest one watches, Zootopia, Crime Files. So I mean, there's a ton of these games that they're getting information from our kids and without our knowledge selling it out. I know Ash and Brian, you guys don't have any kids in the human form. I know Ash, you have pet children. But what do you guys? What are your thoughts with the way Disney's handled this or what's been happening?
Well, I do have my 6-year-old nieces that I know have a lot of these games and stuff, and I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen with this. I'm reading the story a couple times, and they're talking about how you need parental consent. Well, isn't downloading that app, isn't that parental consent? Because usually it says you need to get a parent's permission to play this game or to download this app. Like for iCloud on the iPhones, that usually they can set up like family stuff, or the kids can't download things without the parents doing it or giving permission.
Well, yes and no, because there are settings on new tablets and stuff like that where you can have it. It's the kids can only download child-approved apps, and they can download them as long as they're free. They can download them just because they're child-friendly apps, and only kids can download those apps. Whether or not, well, obviously they didn't have the make sure your parents consent or whatever, this and that. But I'm sure the parents aren't thinking, oh, okay, you guys are stealing advertisement or information about my kids to sell to advertisers. From the chat room, and Duambi, I'm sorry if I'm chopping that name up, but and Duambi, yeah, I agree with that for sure. Have you watched the Disney Channel lately? All of the commercials are for Disney things. Taking kids' info is too much. The brainwashing can still happen without all that. Oh, Andy Umbi. Okay, Andy Umbi.
Did I hear spying on little kids?
Yes, spying on little kids. My God.
Oh,
hey, Keen, how's it going? Everybody say hi to Keen real quick.
Hello, darling.
How's it going?
Man.
So yeah, we're talking about spying on these little kids, and
Can you not say it like that though?
but that's what it really is. Okay, dude, Disney is taking kids information to use for advertising and selling that information.
Walt Disney from the grave is just looking at these little kids on his iPad.
Hey, it happens. You never know. But the whole thing, like you said, they should have a parental consent that you have to download stuff. But I think my oldest two are in their teens, so I have never. This was not an issue really. I know the apps that they have downloaded on their phones and stuff like that, and the tablet. But it's like without giving without at least acknowledging, letting people know, like, hey, you need to know that this is what we may be getting info from, what your child chooses and how he plays or he or she plays, and we're gonna turn around and this may be sold to a third party thing. An opt in or an opt out clause in that, I think, would have just solved this whole problem. But it doesn't seem like Disney gives a crap if they've already been caught before and they were penalized for over $3 million and they're still doing it again, or they've done it again. Brian, what do you think?
I don't know. This is, I mean, like on both sides, it's like I do understand, like from a parent's perspective, it's like it's a complete violation. But in the other hand, and on the other side of that coin, it's like we live in such a technological world that I don't know. I feel like anything that I use on my phone, it's being used. It's being sold somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I'm not oblivious to say like, oh no, it's like, I have Instagram on my phone, or I have something else on my phone. It's like it's not being sold somewhere. I know it's being sold somewhere. Just, am I really gonna care about it right now? No, but I do understand the fact that because this is taking children's information,
Mm-hmm.
it is kind of scary, and I can understand that. But at the same time, it's like you're handing your child a tablet, you're handing your child a phone. A lot of stuff is gonna happen without your knowledge.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
I think
But you're
that,
giving inherent consent for it.
yeah, so that's kind of where like I'm tossing the coin.
it,
I'm not sure
inherent
which side to lean
consent
on.
and actual consent are two very big different things, though. If you're going to if there's because Andy Umbi asked, did I miss if that parental consent was hidden in the small print somewhere? It was not. And that's why the lawsuit's happening, because it was not hidden somewhere. It wasn't even there. Um, you know, expecting that, yeah, it's consent, and knowing it's consent is two very big things. And UMB also said it's still kind of creepy for me when I see ads on Facebook for things I was browsing on Amazon.
Oh yeah, for
Facebook,
sure.
Oh, yeah.
but Facebook tells you when you sign up to Facebook, it's in the terms and conditions that it's tracking shit that you do, and when you do that, guess what pops up on your shit? And it is what it is. It is creepy sometimes. Like, holy shit, I was just looking at that freaking
Looking at the game midget porn, and now there's ads for it. Oh, no.
exactly.
Not my kids. No, cover your eyes.
No.
Yeah, but
Well,
I
I
get that,
mean-
but how many people actually read the terms and agreements?
I skim
You
them.
know, it's like I can tell you, I have not read one in my life. I've clicked OK.
Just
That's-
click OK.
It's just like another piece of how different the world is from when I was a kid. Because I mean, I was born in '89, so I was coming up, and the internet we had was like Netscape Navigator on
Oh, I
some
remember
old
those
stupid
days.
Apple. So like
AOL.
we didn't have any. We didn't
that
have
was
any.
technology to me, dude. That was like born in '81 over here. Go
Well,
ahead.
I'm just saying though, like I grew up as the internet was emerging, but now as a parent, I have to be a parent knowing like a lot of what can be accomplished on the internet. Now I know that I have kids, I have to like teach them how to be responsible internet users. And it's just another wrinkle in that to think, geez, there's people trying to exploit my kids in ways that I wouldn't have even thought of. So I don't know, man. It articles like this just kind of it makes it rough. It makes it just that much more difficult to think about being a parent in the modern day.
And Yumbi said exactly. Even though I know I agreed to it, it's still odd to see. So information about my kids being out there when I had no clue it could happen. It's too much, man. It's no bueno for Disney. And I think the same thing. If you're gonna do that, I mean, at least have it out there where you get an email like, "Hey, by the way, since your child downloaded this application, is it okay that we take their information for ad purposes or whatever?" I mean, that's not. I mean, granted, as long as they would have sent that email, I think it covers them. Like, hey, if you deleted the email and you didn't even read it, well, that's your problem. We sent the email out and you didn't, check it.
Agreed. I mean,
So
there are ways to get
there's a
it
little
done.
bit of responsibility there of just at least try and let people know. Don't just think that it's kind of a given. It really is, but at the same time, as a parent, I think you don't really think about that to that extent that you're going to be getting information about my kids to sell to third-party advertisements. Like, they're my kids. Like, I'm not expecting that. And for me, yeah, I mean, it happens. But like to my kids, I'd rather know like ahead of time. Even if they would be like, oh well, we sent a mass every time a child downloaded this app, we sent an email to the parent login or whatever it is, and they were told that, hey, your child may be information may be got or taken from them for advertisement purposes. Because I've seen that stuff for stuff that I download. Hey, dude, is it okay if we get consent for advertising purposes or third party? And I usually click no because like fuck those guys. Whatever, you guys got enough of my information out there anyways. But Keen, do you have anything productive to say other than midget porn?
No, that's about it.
That actually sounds about right.
That sounds about right, correct? Keen, that way, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thank you for your contribution.
Yeah, I bring a lot to this podcast.
Yeah, always, dude. Andy Umbi, I'm gonna give you another shot. You want to say anything before we move on? I gotta give it like 2 seconds for it to catch up online.
I just want to just to throw out there,
Go ahead.
Andy Umby in the chat is actually my wife, so
Oh,
Oh,
hi.
she's
hi.
with me. She's much more informed than I am. She's probably a way better podcast
so
guest
I
than me.
shouldn't slide into her PMs. So my bad.
Thought it was the DMs. What?
Hey, bro,
Hey,
don't do me like that.
Dude, some people with that sliding into your DMs game, it gets weird.
It's ridiculous
Probably-
sometimes. All right, so moving on to the next topic. Twitch streamers streaming vitals now, a new way to keep their fans hooked. So so far, when you're streaming online, the biggest things to do is playing music, live chat like we have right now, sharing performance stats, sharing how your computer is performing while you're playing the game, etc., etc. A new thing that people are trying out, or it actually dropped today. They're doing like a big reveal somewhere on the East Coast. But basically, it's a peek into the minds and bodies of the players playing right now. Basically, what they're using is a prototype called All the Feels, and it takes data from a Fitbit-style device. 70% of the audience polled said they felt more connected with the player while being able to track the player's physiological state. Both you can kind of tell when something exciting is happening, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Can they tell when you get a boner?
Yes, probably.
Oh, perfect.
It doubled the chat participation and the number of viewers who viewed the individual gamers. What do you guys think? Is it just something else? It's like a fad, or you think it's too much? Do you think it's a good idea? I'm gonna start with King since you just jumped in. What do you think about this new thing with the new tool they call All the Fields in the Fitbit style device?
Sounds kind of gimmicky, but I mean, I'd have to look into more of it to see kind of like what I would think. But I don't know. It sounds. I mean, what is the point? They can tell what your health things.
Yeah, basically
your blood pressure escalates.
Your blood pressure, your heartbeat, your respiratory, like how fast you're breathing, things like that.
Why is that relevant to video games?
Just to see how tense you get when you're playing.
Oh, he's getting tense, but he's also cursing right now. I wonder if they're connected.
I'd love to see Connor hooked up to one of these fucking machines.
Yeah, he would break it.
Great.
Andy Unby says it's so weird. I don't need to see their pulse while I'm watching them play. Alex.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It is kind of weird to me, but at the same time, it'd be interesting to see when spikes would occur. Personally, when I'm playing, even if I don't share
I feel
it,
like you could tell just by looking at them.
Brian, what do you
Is there
think?
sweat? Yep.
I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't know. I really don't have much to say on this. It's a weird concept. I mean, like, I know we kind of talked about it. I mean, I mentioned it to you guys before we started the podcast, but that there was a study done with people that were having the vitals taken while watching Game of Thrones. I know that was more for some other research thing, but I don't know. I don't really see a big point of it. All right, I got excited. I got scared for something. Whatever. I don't know.
I don't know, when that dragon came out and mowed down spoilers, when they mowed down that army, fuck, dude, I was out of my seat yelling and screaming at the TV.
No, and then that's the thing with that study, it wasn't even action scenes. It was just pure dialogue that got people's heart rate flowing. Just people talking. And then I thought that was interesting compared to you seeing what happened in that scene. But I don't know. I think when it comes to gaming, streaming, I think you can kind of see when someone's getting scared. Like if you watch me playing Resident Evil 7, you can see when I get scared. I don't think you need to see my
They
vitals.
start crying like a little baby and crapping their pants. Yeah,
I almost did when that little girl started talking. Fuck that bullshit.
Well, I mean, it'd be interesting to see the build up to it. Like as you're getting closer to that moment of, when you get scared, to see how your body's reacting right before that happens. I think it'd be interesting to see for a certain amount of time. After a while, I'd be like, okay, dude, like, fuck, I don't need to see this shit. You're ruining my experience. Andy MB also said I could see it backfiring too. Instead of noticing when things get intense, people could be like, hey, look at this new streamer and his ridiculous vitals. He's totally nervous. What a lame-o.
Or look at the streamer. He has high blood pressure, high heart rate. He needs to go work out.
This guy gonna die.
Hold out.
You need to see a
That's
doctor.
all I'm saying.
Do you even lift, bro?
You need a doctor.
Do you even lift, bro? Ash, what do you think?
I think it's awesome. I want it, especially because I know sometimes when I'm like doing my raids and stuff, my heart rate gets like through the roof when I get really intense. So I think my people would love to see it, especially when I do something stupid and I kill myself. They'd probably love to see my heart rate shoot up. So I think it's really cool. It just brings another immersive experience. You know, as a streamer, I can't always be talking to everybody, especially if I'm really focused on a game or something.
Mhm.
So it at least gives some type of interaction for my viewers too, to be like, oh, she's not talking, but geez, look at her heart rate. Look how fast she's breathing. She's getting really intense. Oh my gosh. So, you know, it just adds that extra experience. I don't think it's not like it would take up much space. The only hard part would be probably the initial investment. So those of us that don't have much money, it would probably be kind of difficult to get the equipment for it.
Umber?
But I want it.
I mean, I think that horror games is like the obvious application for this. Everybody wants to see when someone's like freaking out about it. But I think it would be, I think it's kind of gimmicky, like somebody said. I don't know. I'm not super interested to see it generally, but I would be curious to see it more in like, hey, this dude's like a speedrunner and all he does is run like Super Mario Brothers 3, and just see how like calm he is internally as he's just destroying this game's record. That would be interesting to me more than watch somebody freak out and watch their pulse go to unhealthy levels while they play Resident Evil or whatever.
That actually, I didn't think about that. Just being able to watch the calmness of somebody when they're doing something like running for doing a speed run for a world record. That's actually a really interesting way to look at it and to be able to see that kind of thing. I know I'd like to try it just to see how it all plays out and see how it goes. It'd be interesting. It's a new gimmick, I guess, that to try and have people come and watch and see what you're doing and get more involvement. But I don't know if in the end it's going to be the standard. But I think for a while, maybe if it goes mainstream, plenty of streamers may try it out for a while, and we'll see how that thing goes. Any other thoughts, Keen, before we move on?
No thoughts.
Keen never has thoughts. All right. Except for the midget porn stuff, but besides the point. So moving on.
I think with other parts of my body. What?
Interesting.
Well, like, I actually had one more thought about it.
Okay.
You had quoted a statistic where they said it was like 50% more viewership or something when you have this freak heart monitor on your stream. But like, I don't know if that's because I don't know how those statistics were gathered, but I would be more likely to watch somebody who's like beta testing some weird health hookup as they're trying to play a game. So I don't know if that's necessarily a great way to I don't know if that's a great indicator of moving forward, whether or not people actually want to see your heart rate while you play, or if it's just, hey, this guy's in the beta for broadcasting his heart rate. Let's go check this out.
That is very good. That's a very good point right there. It was 70% of the audience that was polled that was watching the stream felt more connected while playing, being able to track the player's physiological state, and then it doubled the chat participation and the number of viewers. So it has something to do with the way it has a little bit to do with with some viewership. I mean, but I do think you're right with that. That it wasn't it's something new, so people were like, well, let me go check out and see what this new thing is and why are they using it this way or whatever it might be. So I get that too.
Yeah, it's definitely all about new. I mean, when Furbies came out, people bought Furbies until they couldn't sell them anymore because they were new, and that's the new big thing. So I can see this going through like a little bit of a new phase, but then I also don't think this is going to be the new standard. I'm certainly, like, I'm a Twitch affiliate, I'm nobody, but I have no plans at all to go buy some kind of crazy rig to show my heart as I play New Vegas or something.
All right, moving on to Discord testing video calls and screen sharing. Apparently, it was the most requested Discord update from Discord members. 5% of the users are currently able to use it as they test to see if the service can handle the new load of just bandwidth they're going to be putting out. They say it will work better when you're in groups of 5. I don't know how factual that is. Maybe they just want more people to be on it at the same time just to take away from other things. Also, if you click away or click into another channel in Discord, a picture-in-picture will allow you to stay chatting while browsing through the different Discord channels or whatever else you're doing, so you get the little pop-up, kind of like how Skype does it. If you minimize the chat room, you still have the little picture-in-picture still pop up. Does this signal the end of Skype, which we're hilariously on right now, or something like Google Hangouts? Do you think this is the end of that kind of thing? That Discord's now going to take away that demographic from Skype and from Google Hangouts, stuff like that? Keen.
I mean, I would say I had to literally reinstall Skype just to join because I don't remember the last time I used it. Discord is kind of just like already taken over Skype, TeamSpeak, Vent, all those markets for a while now. The only thing Skype's kind of been useful like for recently is just the video call. Otherwise, it's just kind of no point. I saw they updated the UI, but it doesn't make me want to use it. But I mean, yeah, once they add video calling, there's just really no point to have Skype or anything else anymore, because it's kind of become the industry standard and the best around. So,
Brian,
I think King kind of said it perfectly. Yeah, Discord is just kind of taking over, right? I mean, over the last couple years, it's been blowing up drastically, and it's been taking over everything. I don't even use anything else but Discord. Like, I remember back in the good old WoW days, I would use Vent, you know, like to talk to the guild members, stuff like that. Nah, I haven't used that in years. Same thing with Skype. Same thing with anything else that I have on here. Like, exactly like King said, I had to reinstall Skype just to do this. Yeah.
Thanks, Ubersana, for making everybody reinstall Skype.
What a guy.
We'll figure out why it
welcome.
wasn't working and anything. But Ash, what do you think about it?
Honestly, I feel like Skype at the very least will be okay. It may not get as much, but I know I used it during grad school and stuff. A lot of academics and whatnot who use it to talk to their colleagues and stuff, and that's where a lot of that use comes from, or like businesses and stuff. They're not going to know about Discord, or they're not going to go and use a gaming server to video chat. So
you'd be surprised. I already know a bunch that do.
Well, from my experience, from the academic world, nobody uses Discord for professional meetings and stuff.
I think that you say that too, because my girlfriend actually had a video conference with her supervisor last night via Google Hangouts, and then I'm like, is that still a thing? Like, I didn't even know that was still a thing. I really didn't.
Yeah, because when I was finishing my PhD, my advisor still is in the East Coast, and so whenever I had to meet with her, it was always Skype because we needed the video chat, and it let us work in real time together on stuff, because you have like share screens, and there's I would say overall a bit more you can do with Skype for actual meetings. So I don't know about Google Hangouts. I've never really used it. But in my opinion, Skype will still be fine because Skype is also still free to use. And it also does have the feature where you can make phone calls from it, and it's pretty cheap to make calls. So, yeah, I'm not worried about Skype. I'm really glad, though, that we're finally going to get video calls on Discord.
Andy Umbi says, isn't Skype still the lingo, though, like Google, that lasted because it's a phrase, you Google something?
Yeah.
Isn't Skype still a verb? I don't really hear people saying something more generic like video chat. They say, hey, let's Skype. So I can see Skype sticking around on that basis alone. I could see how that Skype might stick around for a while, but I think as more and more people in the industry use Discord, I think it will start phasing out Skype and Google Hangouts especially. So I know Google Hangouts was kind of the answer to the iPhone's video chat or whatever, or FaceTime. That was Google's answer to it. So I don't know. I know we've used it before back in the day. It's been a while since I've actually used it at a professional level or anything like that, or meetings level or anything like that. So I don't know. Any other thoughts?
Well, so like first off, sorry for making you guys reinstall Skype, but I don't know what's going on. So like even on that level alone, the fact that Discord was having an issue with my microphone and Skype, I changed nothing and Skype's working okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they still got some bug fixing to work out, but I think it's like I don't know anybody's name in here, but what was said earlier was that Skype is more of like uh, a professional application, and that's what I think. I've worked in an environment where we used Skype as like the inter-office communication method, and the entire company used Skype, so you could they had like the Skype Messenger, Skype for Business or whatever, and I don't see an analog to that through Discord yet. Maybe in a game company, maybe in like a high-end tech company, but I can't see like a traditional office environment moving to Discord. I see that still using Skype, and that so far has been the reality in my experience. So I don't think Skype's in any danger. I think a more niche market, people who use Skype to when they do like Warcraft raids or something, I think that I can see that going to Discord, but I also think Skype's gonna be okay.
Any other thoughts, Keen?
Nada.
All
I
right.
will also say Discord does still have a lot of bugs. It randomly will stop working for me where I can't hear anything and people can't hear me, and mid raid it's pretty miserable.
Oh, it's happened to
So.
me while we're playing Overwatch or we're playing something Pugba. It happens more on Pugba than anything, which is funny because we're gonna talk about Pugba next. But it's funny that I'll be playing with Maeve and Most Wanted here, and all of a sudden I can't hear what they're saying, and I have to jump out of the chat and then jump back in the chat just to be able to hear what's going on. And they're like, dude, we can hear you and we're talking to you, but you can't hear us. And it's like, I didn't change anything. I was just running the thing, and it's funny because it was only on PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. So it does have some bugs, and I'm sure they're gonna fix it. And it'd be interesting to see not only the quality, but if there's gonna be any latency, or there's gonna, how good is the stream really gonna be as far as the video calls go and the screen sharing goes. So it's gonna be interesting to see where it goes.
I mean, Skype drops out too, though, so like no program is perfect.
True,
but less often than Discord. I'm ambivalent about Discord. My guild uses it, but I miss TeamSpeak. I wish we still use TeamSpeak instead of Discord. So, yeah.
I think you're the only one here.
everybody's kind of like, I use TeamSpeak.
Yeah, I know that silence.
I used TeamSpeak for like 10 minutes, and then they're like, oh, look, go on Discord. I'm like, what's that? Just get on Discord. Okay. And then that was it. I haven't used TeamSpeak or anything else since then. But speaking of PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, the developers... Oh, hold on. I got to update the stream here. PlayerUnknown Battleground. So there's been 14 updates since its launch in March, and the developers will begin to slow down how fast it sends out these updates because the constant updates are causing more issues than they are fixing. They're also trying to work out the vaulting update, which is coming at some point in time, which will allow you to climb on top of objects, climb up buildings, trees, etc., which I think is pretty exciting.
How you be Spider-Man now?
You can. Well, nice. I mean, if there's stuff there, you can climb.
Favorite.
If there's something there, you can climb. I'm sure.
Climbing in your window, sneaking in your room.
Climb a wall.
I mean, yeah, you can jump up and climb a wall and stuff like that instead of just getting stuck behind it. It's gonna be interesting to have that, but they're slowing things down because they're saying all these updates are causing more issues with the servers and the players' experience. Max, I know you play this quite a bit. What do you think about the high volume of updates and the fact that they're going to slow that stuff down now?
Dude, I don't know. Okay, I do understand that if you're coming out with so many updates that it's causing more problems than it's fixing, then obviously you kind of need to slow down, kind of figure out what's actually causing everything, and as a person that's making the codes and everything, obviously you need to figure that out. But for a game for what the game is, it's freaking amazing. Even for the fact that it's still in alpha, right? Or am I wrong?
I thought it's in beta now. Is it still in alpha? Anybody?
I don't play it. I don't know.
Either way, it's not a full release game. And honestly, if the game were to come out full released, like as is, I wouldn't mind paying for it. Like I really wouldn't. but that game is really well done, and I do appreciate the constant updates because then it shows that they are, trying everything.
Yeah, they're trying to get it
everything that
better.
they can.
They're working
Yeah,
on
they're
making
trying
a
to
better
improve on what
experience.
they
Yeah,
got.
absolutely.
But at the same time, I can see the aspect that you're bringing out so much that it's causing other problems. Then I don't mind them kind of taking a step back, slowing it down, trying to figure it out. I don't see an issue with that. I just hope that there's still a good flow of content that is being released. It doesn't have to be as much as quick, but as long as they're still making their little hot fixes or just putting out brand new content just to add to the game, I'll be perfectly fine with that.
Keen, I know you play a little bit. What do you think?
I don't know. I haven't. I mean, I've been playing it recently, not real like not this week or whatever. But I've never noticed any problems with any updates. It's always seemed to be smoother every time. I like Mex said, I like the constant updates, unlike H1Z1 cough cough, where hashtag dead game that just I wasn't there at the start for H1Z1, but like before PUBG kind of really got big, it was just nothing was happening. It was just the same game. I mean, all battle royales are kind of the same in terms of like they don't change too much, but PUBG, like you could even for the short time I've played it, it's always updated to kind of things. They've added things to the game and stuff. H1Z1 not the case, which sadly is unfortunate, but I haven't noticed any problems personally with the updates. I think they're good, and it's keeping it fresh, keeping it real, and I would say PUBG is still currently the best battle royale game on the market. So
I agree with that statement right there. Umber, do you get in on this or what?
Yeah, I definitely do play. I definitely do play PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. So I was one of the people who I think is the most recent update. Like it knocked all the servers into crazy lag. I was one of the people hit kind of hard by that. So I see the wisdom of kind of slowing it down, but I think that one of the mistakes that could be made, one of the hurdles that I think I can see coming is if when updates slow down, the flow of information to players slows down, because I think one of the good things about constantly updating the game is you give the player base a feeling of that it's not a dead game like H1Z1 was or is. So I think that one of the risks that could happen, one of the things that could happen is the flow of information could slow down as they're not releasing patch notes and talking to the community as much if that happens. And that can make this game feel more dead. So I think as long as we get more communication, slower updates, fewer updates, that's still okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for the updates because it gives you a sense of, hey, I know there's problems, but we're continuously working on making the experience that you're having right now with our game better. So I get that and I appreciate that as a consumer. When it starts, I mean, it's to say they put down 3 updates in a month. Can you wait till the end of the month and just do one big update? That would maybe solve the problem if you do, one a month or something like that.
Well, like, what is I'm still kind of unclear on what it is their issue is. They're putting out too many updates and it's compromising the quality of the game. It sounds like their updates is they're putting out unfinished things as the updates. So maybe this is the right move to say, well, instead of just pushing out half-finished stuff just for the sake of pushing something out, let's sit back and we'll fix. So like I want this I'm calling it the parkour DLC. I want the parkour update to be good. I want to be able to go vault over stuff. I don't want to be able to vault over most walls, but then have big issues when I vault over stuff. So having them actually put out a finished concept instead of putting out like a half-finished update, I think is probably for the best.
I agree with that. I'm down.
And like Blizzard, like when they put out an update for Overwatch, they kind of shut everything down and like kind of kick everybody off. I don't feel like they do that with PUBG. They just let things run, and then it creates problems that way. Because if you don't, it's fine to do a lot of updates, but if you don't handle it properly server-wise, it could definitely create problems for the players. So you got to kind of keep that in mind as well.
Yeah. But even with the Overwatch updates, they let you know it's coming. Like, hey, we're gonna have an update on this date, from this date to that, from this time to that time. you know, that you're not gonna be able to get on the servers. So I mean, they do
Yeah.
give you a heads up. So at least they do
Yeah.
that. You don't just show up and like, shit, I can't log on. Let me go on fucking Reddit and see if everybody's having the same problem. Whereas everybody's getting kicked off of the servers on PUBG, and you're like, well, fuck, what's going on? Why can't I reconnect? Let me jump on Reddit. Oh, the servers are down again. Fuck, they must be doing an update. At least, hey, tomorrow or next week on Monday, we're gonna be doing a new update. Servers may be iffy between the hours of fucking 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. or whatever, however long it takes to do an update like that. At least some heads up, I think, would be good. I mean, I know that they've been putting a shit ton of updates out, so it might be a little bit more difficult. But I think if they do like one a month or, you know, bi-monthly even, and just let people know, hey, this is what we're going to be updating. It's going to be hitting on this date, and prepare, because on Sunday night at midnight to 6 a.m. Monday morning, there's going to be no PUBG. So just be aware of that. You know what I mean? So
People should also expect, like, after the server updates, there's probably going to be a couple issues. So
oh yeah,
just always keep that in mind as
shit's,
well.
shit's never going to be fucking perfect, as they say. You're always constantly, especially on a PC game, you're always constantly trying to make it better and just get an overall better experience. So, and I do like the vaulting update being called the fuck, I just had the word and it fucking slipped my mind.
Parkour.
The parkour update. Hardcore parkour. Any other things?
That's right, man. Parkour.
Hardcore. Any other PUBG with the updates? Anything? Anybody else want to chime in before we move on to the final topic of the night? Hearing none. Moving forward. So the big. I asked the guys before we and gal. Sorry, I asked everybody.
That's okay.
If they'd be okay with, or they wanted to talk about what's going on right now in Charlottesville. I know it's away from the technical gaming stuff we usually talk about, but I think right now it's affecting our society in on many different levels, and it's something that I think we could talk about and see what our thoughts are on with certain things. To some seriousness, I know some of us in here like to joke a lot about certain subjects and stuff, but on a serious note, what are you guys' thoughts on what's going on? How Trump has handled the situation, how the society is handling this situation. I know just recently, yesterday morning, or I believe it was yesterday afternoon, whatever, the rally people went and tore down
Antifa.
There you go. Antifa went and tore down some statues of Robert E. Lee and all this and that. And granted, Robert E. Lee's the fifth, the you know, one of the great grandkids, said it was fine that they were going to take it down, but I think they could have done it in a different way. They didn't, you know, that's basically vandalism how they did it. Regardless of what and how people may see that statue, I think to a certain extent. I for a while I was just like, man, people are just getting really. It's getting to the PC police is getting fucking out of hand with some of these, you know, statue takedowns, or even here in Irvine last year they took down the freaking the U.S. flag and the veteran flag, or the military flags from the flagpoles, and they're like,
Yeah, those are hate symbols. What are you talking about?
That's what they were saying. They're oppressive symbols and whatnot. That you know, why would we want to support that kind of thing? And it's just like, I mean, it didn't last long. It lasted like fucking one day, and then they went back up. It's just a matter of, to a certain extent, like, okay, like, stop bitching about shit that you clearly have no idea what you're doing. You're just trying to complain for complaint's sake. But to have taken it this far, like, I feel like it's time to say something. And it's just what they call the alt-right is doing. I believe is just it's out of hand at this point. And for the lack of not denying, but the lack of not, I don't want to say force either, but for the way Trump has handled it so far, I think is just terrible. Granted, the way he's handling pretty much everything in the world is pretty terrible, but this, in being that it's as they call it, domestic terrorism, it should have brought more backlash than it has. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on what's going on in Charlottesville?
You know, he doesn't want to offend his only supporters. So, I
don't want to. Okay, I'm gonna cut you off right there real quick, and I'll let you keep going. But I honestly don't believe those are his only supporters.
I know. I'm being sarcastic.
I know. I know some. I know some Hispanic people that voted for him. And I'm like, you voted for him? What? Why? And they literally told me, "Oh, I want to vote for him because it's just something different." Well, we now have seen what different looks like, and I'm sure everybody's like, "Fuck, I don't want this anymore." But continue.
It's the way he's handled it. You know, I've already been up in arms since he was elected, but the way that this has been handled by him has me, frankly, terrified. To equate literal Nazis with people that are with anybody else that's opposing them, the people that were there counter protesting, that beautiful woman who was killed just for trying to promote peace. To equate those two is just asinine. To say there's good people on this other side, they're all white nationalists. They're literal Nazis with Home Depot tiki torches, which that's just great. How ironic that is. But it's just horrible. And these people that think they're better because of the color of their skin, y'all need to. I don't want to say y'all need to find Jesus, because that's what they think, who they think is on their side. It's just disgusting. And like, I cannot remember the name of that poor girl that was killed by the terrorists in the car, but like she said, if you're not outraged, you're not paying attention. That quote that she wrote on her Facebook page.
Her name was Heather Heyer.
Heather, thank you. I knew it started with an H, and I was like, oh, what is it? I almost said Haley. But yeah, you know, I kind of just lose my mind. So I will pass it on to who's next.
Somebody want to jump in on that?
I think it honestly takes two sides to tango. I think Trump handled it fine, honestly, which probably people's gonna hate me for that. But you have problems on both sides. On the left, you have the Antifa and the Black Lives Matter. On the right, you have KKK and neo-Nazis. So when you start throwing fire with fire, you're gonna have a protest like this, and you can't really expect anything less. So both sides need to be condemned. Both are a problem, and they both need to go. So,
see, I completely agree with you on that end, because I've dealt with people in the Black Lives Matter movement, and I try and tell everybody, like, or those people, like, no, it's all lives should matter. It doesn't matter your creed, color, race, whatever you want to call it. What should matter is the person, the human being. The human race is what matters at the end of the day. And they like snap at me like, no, it's black lives. Black lives are the ones that matter. It's like, no. Whoa. I'm not saying that black lives don't matter. I'm just saying that all human life should be cherished and matters. Like, we should not be this way towards people. And I get people enraged that are like, dude, no, you're completely wrong. You're missing the point. It's all
and you're
about
racist. What?
I'm racist because I don't support Black Lives Matter and the Black Lives Matter movement. It's like, no, it's not that I don't support what you guys are some of you are trying to say, but when it gets to the point of now you're creating violence, or now you're fighting or burning things down, and all you're saying is, oh well, Black Lives Matter, and this is, and you're losing your support by demonstrating the way you are, just the same way as these freaking neo-Nazi nationalists or whatever they want to call themselves. They're losing, I don't want to say support, but they're losing this fight because they're doing the exact same thing that the Black Lives Matter people who are ruining their what they're trying to their cause and what they're trying to get across. They're ruining what they're trying to say by all this violence and all this other stuff. Like, we should, as a people, as a species, need to come together already and be done with this shit. I know that Neil deGrasse Tyson pointed out that it really 99.99999% of all DNA is in human beings is absolutely the same. It's just like a 0.0000001% where our melanin content is just slightly different. It's just depending on where our heritage is from around the world. And it's like that 0.000, how can that 0.0000001% cause so much hate and violence? Like, you're not born hating other people. You're taught that. Like, how can we as a society allow ourselves, like, I have children, I have to talk to them on about these kind of things. It's like, how can we allow our kids to hate people that way. Like, what, you know, it's just like, has a Hispanic kid and a white kid, if they had met in daycare and they didn't know anything about hate, would they hate each other? No, they wouldn't see, oh, he's Hispanic and he's white. They would just say, oh, look, a kid I can go play with, and that be it. Andy Umbi said, well, on that note, Black Lives Matter movement is trying to say that all lives matter. The feeling that the status quo is that black people are more expendable, and they're saying we matter too. No, I understand that. I'm saying that when I've expressed that specific thing, that all lives matter, that people in the Black Lives Matter movement have gotten in my face, called me a racist, told me that I don't understand what's going on, and if I'm not on their side, I'm the problem. And it's like, no, I'm not the problem. I understand what we're trying to do here. I understand what your ultimate goal is, to understand that whether we're there shouldn't be any minorities. We are all the majority. We are the human race. And I get yelled at, like, physically. People get in my face, and it's like, no, you don't get it. You're fucking racist and this and that, blah blah. It's like, dude, no, like you're how, like, no, I'm not racist. Like, dude, like, how can you guys even say that? You're losing your your pedestal that you're standing on. Every time you become violent, every time you tear something or somebody down because they don't believe exactly the way you think it should be done, or things should be seen or done. Brian, I know you've been quiet. I'd love to hear from you, man.
I mean, I think you and Keen have kind of expressed a lot of what I've already feel. But just to even go back a little further, it's like, how long has this been going on? I mean, like, for the past couple years, it's like, I feel like we're trapped in this bubble, or we're trapped in this hole that just keeps getting deeper and deeper and darker with all this shit that keeps happening, you know? It's like, yeah, all lives matter, Black Lives Matter, all these movements that are coming up, and it's just everything that's happening. It's really sad to see. You know, it's really sad to see that so much hate and so much ignorance is being broadcasted around the world. It's just really, it just like really messes with like a lot of people's heads, where they don't even know, or they don't even know. Yeah, it's like they don't even know what to think anymore. Because if you say one thing, hey, you're racist. If you say another thing, hey, you're racist for saying that too. It's like, then what the fuck do you want me to say? Like,
nothing.
No, for real. It's like,
you gotta
what the hell do you want me to say?
Well, yeah,
you just want me to say that you're right.
If you don't agree, your role is to shut up and not say anything. And then if you don't say anything, it's like, well, then you obviously are a racist, or you're with the alt-right, or you're the problem with society. It's like, no, actually, by you accusing me of being this, and this, without knowing who I am and what I'm about, you are actually the problem, and why this movement is not succeeding. You guys continue to harass and put people's information out. I know there's supposedly there was a person who was at that alt-right movement or whatever it was, in Charlottesville, and somebody thought that they knew the person, so they put their information online for people to be like, oh, look, this is him, this and that, blah blah. The dude got fired. His children got harassed at school. He was just having problems with family, friends. Everybody was like all over it. And he's like, dude, that wasn't even me. It just happened to be some guy that looked like him in a slightly blurry picture. And this guy all of a sudden is getting attacked left and right. Like, people just ruined this guy's life for mistaken identity. And nobody gives a shit. Like, oh, they're not going to go over there. Yeah. Oh, we apologize for everything we did. We thought this is that. Well, you shouldn't have to feel that way because of something you said or did, because you should never have to tear somebody down like that. Yeah. Granted,
then at that point, the damage has been done.
Yeah.
You know what? Like, your job's gonna take you back. What? Like, everybody else gonna be, oh, you know what? It was a mistake.
Yeah, it was
my bad,
it's
bro.
Fine. It's
everything
fine.
I said to you, my bad. No, the damage has been done. You fucked up this guy's life.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll know these groups.
Terrible.
Yeah, you'll know these groups by their fruit, and clearly none of them want peace from the left or the right. They just want hate and attack each other, and just like the Black Lives Matter, the feminists as well. They don't want equality. They want to be better than everybody else.
Whoa,
It's
no.
yeah. You want to debate
No,
this?
yeah. I don't agree
Uh-huh.
with that at all. I think feminists are definitely not looking for supremacy.
Oh,
They're
we want
looking
equal
for
pay. You already
equality.
have equal pay. Okay,
No, we
what
don't.
else?
We
Yeah,
do
you
not have
do.
equal pay. We do not have
Uh-huh.
equal treatment.
Yes, you do.
Dude, I have my PhD in chemical engineering. I have all the numbers for women in science.
Okay.
We literally make less money than men.
Mm-hmm.
Can we
You have less jobs.
can we agree to say that it's not clear cut across the board? It's just that certain industries it's not that way, because it could go both ways. Like in the military, and maybe Umbersona can chime in on this one, but in the military, as in the Marines, we're held to two different standards for the same job.
Yep.
Granted, women can't supposedly, and this isn't like me saying you can't do it, because I know some female Marines who are freaking more gung ho than myself. Supposedly they can't do as many pull-ups or as many push-ups, so
It's
they
physically and scientifically, guys are stronger than girls.
If a
There's no
woman
debate
trains
there.
herself, she can do whatever she wants to do.
If both a guy
It
and a
may
girl
take
train
extra
themselves the
training.
same
But
training,
here's
the guy will be stronger by default.
But here's the thing. Here is my thing. If you want to, it's like women who want to be, or females who are in the military who want to be in the infantry. That's fine, as long as you complete the military or the infantry standards to be able to do that.
And they lower the
Don't
standards.
lower the
for women.
standards for women, because they're still going to be expected to do the same job. When you're in a firefight, you're expected to be able to do that, and then they get mad because they can't do those. That they can't meet those requirements. So then they lower the requirements just for women, and it's like, okay, but now you're not doing the same job the exact same way.
Yeah.
Now they're carrying the other people are carrying more of a load now because of the other person not being able to carry as much or to run as fast. Now, I'm not saying that's every female. Like I said before, I knew or know some female Marines, Marines specifically because I was there, that were super gung ho. They were ready to pick up a dude and run him, 100 yards and jump in the mud and shoot things down and all that other fun jazz. But they met the requirements, not the female requirements, but the male requirements. And it's like, well, dude, you fucking did it. Do it then. Get on it, and good for you. But I think
feminism isn't arguing for lower standards for women, and I totally agree with you. There should be the same standards all around.
Okay.
It may take extra work, but if a woman wants to do it, she puts in the extra work, she meets those standards, then fuck yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you meet those standards, go for it.
Feminism, Black Lives Matter too. It's not about being better. It's about being equal and being treated.
And you already are
equal.
being equal.
We are not.
In what way?
Let's see. When I was a child, I had my family tell me that I shouldn't be going to college to get a degree. I should be going to meet a husband and working at home.
Okay.
As I grew up,
wait, hold on. And Ash, I love you. You know I do. I love your mom. I love your whole family. But is that society telling you that, or is that your family telling you that?
That is society.
So you just said your family's telling you.
Yeah, I'm giving you the example of my family, because my family, their religion comes from society. Okay, society, we tell girls from the second they're born, all we do is focus on them being cute. Here's your pink little dress. We tell them they can't do things because they're a girl. We tell them that getting dirty and stuff isn't okay. We tell boys that liking princesses, that reading books that may be about a princess, or even wanting to wear a princess dress isn't okay because it's girly and being girly is bad.
Those are all normal things. It's called natural selection. That's boys get rough and dirty, girls wear their dresses.
I have a son and a daughter, both teenagers. They both like going and getting dirty, and they both like music and musicals and singing and dancing and going outside and running around and getting dirty. Like, there's no, like, if I hand my daughter a pink dress or my son a pink shirt, they're not going to think any different if I hand them a pair of jeans and a sweatshirt. Like, it's not about what. It's really about how we raise our kids to feel and to see. And it's one of the things that I was talking about earlier. You can't have two babies hate each other just because they're babies. They hate each other because people were taught that way. We need to change the way we teach our families.
So I don't think that you can take feminism as an idea and distill it down to what your personal experience about the women in your lives have been. I have to little girls. But aside from my life, aside from how I choose to raise them, if you go to the store and you look around at the kinds of things that are marketed to females and the kinds of things that are marketed to males, there are obvious gender roles in society that I don't agree with.
Exactly.
Oh,
Women,
I can agree with
women
that.
should not be, especially little girls, should not be put in the role of, hey, look, here's all the clothes in the store, and 99% of them say princess on them.
Exactly.
As if that is what the ideal should be. So your kid goes to the store, right, and sees that, and then that is society through marketing, through Target or wherever the fuck you buy your clothes, excuse my language. That is society
Never
telling
apologize
you,
for your language here, sir, by the way. Never apologize for your language. We are mature content. Say fuck shit,
Got it.
whatever else you want to do. Go for it.
So anyway, that is society telling your daughter that, hey, this is what you should aspire to be, because this is what all of these clothes are. This is what everybody wears. Everybody, all the girls should be the princess. And I don't agree with that. Same thing with, I don't agree that all the boys should be tough. And I'm like, bro, fuck that. Like,
Exactly.
your kid or any person, period, should be able to be whoever the hell they want to be. And it's sad.
And then you get trannies and all
sad.
this crap.
I don't. Yeah,
Whoa.
Yeah,
so
that's great
what's wrong with
stuff.
that? Nothing
What's
is
wrong with
that.
that?
What's wrong
That
with
messes
it?
up the families. That messes up the kids. That messes up everybody.
So
They're
you
allowed
have
to
their
be
own
who they were
roles.
born as.
Guys
I
supposed
don't
to be the
agree
head
with
of the
that.
households. They're supposed to
Anybody.
be the stronger ones. That's how it's always been.
You know
Has it
what?
been until
That's
this
how it
feminist
was.
crap?
That
That's
ain't
changed.
how it is anymore.
No, you're right. Society's gone
And
way
it better
downhill,
not be.
and it's not been the best. We need to fix ourselves as a country and as the world's. It's a mess right now.
From
So,
the
like-
from the
And
chat.
treating
Hold on.
all
Hold on.
people equally is how we fix it.
From
Black people are treated equally. Women are treated equally. There's no problem there.
from
Try
the
being
chat
a woman
from the
and
chat
get back
room.
to you.
I'm trying to bring in the chat room here. Andy Umbi says societal pressures on women to be soft and sexual, and at home societal pressures for men are to be strong and unemotional. Her daughters are both crazy about science right now, and it scares me to know statistically that interest will fade as they see that women aren't typically in that field. Tyrant Doom
There's a
adds.
reason why.
Tyrant Doom adds, but they're kids. What do you want to promote towards them? I think dealing with as far as like the toys or the stores go.
Let them play with and see everything. You know, when I was a kid, I had Barbies, I had Hot Wheels, I played softball, but I did dance. I got to see everything and make decisions for myself on what I liked and what shaped me as a person. I grew up and was like, fuck the princess mentality. I'm going to be my own person and my own self-rescuing princess, if you will. I'm going into math. I'm going into science because this is awesome. You know,
And if you're good
let
at that,
them
then
make their own
great.
decision.
But the standards should not be lowered in science and the military for women, just
No
because
one
they might
is
be a little
lowering-
less
They
smart.
shouldn't be lowering
They
the
are.
standards, but women aren't less smart.
No,
And what you said
nobody's
right
saying
there-
That's
nobody's
proven that.
okay. No,
just
no.
said that, and
Nobody's-
you just literally said women should be in
nobody-
the home. And
nobody
You want to
is
know why
saying-
there aren't as women in science and the math and stuff? It's because they're not as smart when it comes to that sort of stuff.
What? No.
The
it's
ones
because
that
from a
are, they
young
prove
age-
themselves
From a
and
young
they
age, we are
succeed.
told that it's because from a young age, just like what you're doing right now, we are told that we aren't as smart. And we're told that we should be going into things like English or like dance or stuff that's quote unquote easier. No, that's not true. It has been scientifically proven that it is not true. And we
It's
are
been
just as
proven the
capable, if
opposite.
not more capable. Find me the study. I will
All right,
find you
I
the
will.
opposite study.
Okay.
So if I can interject real fast,
Please do.
I think that it is sad that the conversation we're talking about, this started with Charlottesville. Literal Nazis, people with Nazi flags, people with KKK imagery, and all kinds of other bullshit white supremacist imagery and shields, and they got their fucking militia bullshit on. These people take torches and march on the road, right? And they scream their hate shit. And one of them fucking kills a lady, runs a bunch of people down, right? But when talking about it, there is no, well, fuck, we got fucking Nazis. That's a huge issue. It's, well, alt-left people and, feminism and that kind of bullshit. Like, what the fuck, man? We have Nazis walking on the street. And the conversation turns into fucking feminists, bro, ruining this country. Like,
Yeah,
what the fuck?
You know, all you just said what the alt-right's doing? The alt-left's doing the same thing. Black Lives Matter, Black Panthers, Antifa.
Okay,
They're
well,
going around with their
At
shields and their
least
torches
they
killing
want
people.
equality.
That's
What
any
these white
different.
nationalists want is
So
they only want to be white is right. Is that's all they're about.
Yeah,
They're
black is
about
right
hate.
too.
What?
So,
No, they're about
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter. They don't want equality. You
Okay,
people
but
don't get it.
wait a minute. Black Lives Matter, right? So one of the core tenets of Black Lives Matter, one of the reasons that whole organization exists, is because there was a wave, and it's never really stopped. There's a wave of young black men, primarily, getting shot and killed by police. Whether or not you believe they deserve to be killed or not, doesn't matter. The fact is, that is happening, right? And yeah, sure, there's white people dying too, but statistically, there are more young black men dying to police violence than young white men, okay? So
Yeah.
that's,
And there's
okay,
also more
that's a
black
fact.
and black crime than there is white on black.
That
You're
is
accurate
that
with
is
that.
neither here nor there with this. So anyway, so Black Lives Matter is formed to combat that to combat that idea. Hey,
Combat
is
equality
not
and then become the
okay.
best race on earth.
What?
I
So
can
where
I
is
can agree.
quality
Look, I can agree
with-
that that's where it started. That's where Black Lives Matter started, and that's where the Black Panthers started. They want to educate people that no, we all should be equal and everything should be straight across the board. And I do agree. We started talking about Charlottesville, and we got on a whole nother tangent just because things like this build up so much emotion in everybody in different ways, which is one of the reasons I thought about talking about this. But when you then take what you're trying to tell people as the word, or this is what we're trying to do, this is what our goals are, is to educate people, when you then turn around and try and do it violently by rioting or walking down the street in tiki torches and doing that kind of thing, you're perverting the message you're trying to get across. Granted, I am not supporting Nazis whatsoever in any way, shape, or form. As Tyrant Doom online said, America needs to come together, left or right, negate the Nazis from our society. That should be, gone years ago. But what I'm trying to say is, when violence is used to try and get your point across, you've then perverted the point you're trying to get across, and it takes away from the good things that have happened because of it. If you guys understand what I'm trying to say.
So if I can finish getting my point across,
Go
the
for it.
point of bringing up how Black Lives Matter was started is to say that it's a false equivalency. If you want to call the Black Lives Matter group, you want to call those types of protesters, you want to call that the alt-left, fine. That's up to you.
That's what they are.
Okay, but if that's what you want to refer
Just like
to
the alt-rights, neo-Nazis, and KKK. It's facts.
Got you. It's a false equivalency to call Black Lives Matter as a group equal to the KKK. The KKK was not formed.
They're doing the
as a
exact
group.
same things. They want the same things.
They
just
don't
two
want
different
the
sides
same
of the
things.
aisle. They
don't want the same things. They
They
definitely
do.
don't.
Look it up.
They definitely don't. I don't know.
They want nationalized
you
health
get your
care. They want all
information.
this garbage.
I don't
I'm
get
it from CNN if that's where you get it.
healthcare. Well, hear me out, right? So you have the KKK that's formed not because, oh, look, all the white people are being disenfranchised. That's a crazy thought because, hey, guess what? White people aren't disenfranchised in America. Crazy idea, right? So this group that is a advocate for white supremacy versus a group who, hey, stop killing black people, please.
Who wants black?
That is not an equal group. That's not equal. So that's stupid.
It is.
To say the KKK is the same as Black Lives Matter. They're just
pretty
different
much
colors.
is.
It's pretty much stupid. You are correct.
I will give Black Lives Matter and say, like, original feminism, they started off with good ideas, and they were fine for a certain degree to get women's rights, and that I believe in. That's good stuff. But modern day feminism, modern day Black Lives Matter aren't good things. They don't want equality anymore. They want to be better. They want supremacy, and they're not going to get it. So sorry to tell you all, but that's the way it is.
All right.
It amazes me to actually
Let's
speak to someone that has a mindset like that.
let's
Yeah,
all
no, this is surreal.
let's all take a breath. Let's take a step back. Things are said. Things are done. We're not going to fix the world tonight by no way or shape or form. We're not going to fix the world. We you know what I mean? And everybody is entitled to their opinion under the Constitution and all that jazz. We are a society of freedom of speech. We are a society of freedom of opinions. And I think that's where everything stems from. But when it comes to acting on those feelings or those ideals violently, is where you lose any footing that you were trying to stand on. I know we all have different positions on what's going on and how are things going because of different ways we've lived our lives, where we've been, how we've been, who we've met, what we've done in society with our lives, who we've decided to associate with, who we've decided to be around, to talk to do business with. It all comes back down to who we are as a people. It's all shaped us as individuals, and we to a certain extent we need to respect other people's opinions as well, because it's the way they think. We may not all agree with the way Keen says some things. We may not all agree with the way Ashley said some things. We may not agree with the way I said some things. But at the end of the day, you know, we're all here. Tyrant says he would like to say that all Black Lives Matter and all feminists, but there are sects that are extremists. And yes, in everything, there's going to be those bad apples. Granted, there are more bad apples in certain sects or certain groups, that all they want to do is be bad apples and do that kind of thing. It's atrocious what's happening in Charlottesville. It's atrocious what's happening in our society right now, that we've gotten to that point where this is unfortunately the norm that we're living in right now, and it shouldn't be. People are saying, prepare yourselves for the next civil war. It's coming, this and that. I hope it doesn't get to that point, you know? Hold on one second here. Oh, these guys. But in the end, I mean, it's something we needed to bring up. I know that everybody has their opinion. I hope that everybody understands that fact that we all have our own opinions and we all see things a little differently because of the way we were raised or because of the way we just have gone through society and how we've experienced life. You know, I've been on this earth for 36 years and I've gone around the world and fought next to, you know, white guys, brown guys, black guys. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they were all green to me because that was our color. We were green. And it all shapes us, our experiences through life. When people tell us we can't do this or we shouldn't do that, or when we see injustices happening that we have no power to fix something like that, it shapes who we are and how we see things and how we experience life. And at the end of the day, I love every single one of you guys, everybody out there listening to us or watching us right now on Twitch, on YouTube, on Mix, or whatever it might be you're watching us on. We need to become a society that cares about each other more than a society that wants to tear down each other. And as you can see, just from 5 of us here online talking, how heated it could get right away. And I know I wanted to have this discussion, but I don't want to lose any friends. I don't want to lose any partners or anybody who's going to feel like, oh, well, because of this situation, you know, I don't want to hang out with you guys anymore. I don't want to be on a stream with you guys anymore. That's the last thing I want to do. So I want to kind of, you know, edge our way away from that topic right now. We can revisit it another time, and go there. But I feel like we were getting very heated, and before anybody says something that we don't want to, we can't take back. I hope we all understand that. We all need to respect other people's decisions. I see what Tyrant wrote, and I'm not going to acknowledge that, which is hilarious. But I hope that we can all acknowledge that we all have different opinions because of the way we were raised, because where we are, because of who we've associated with. And I'm proud to say that I associate, and you guys are all my friends. And granted, we have differences of opinions, but that's how life is. It's a constant difference of opinions. It's how we take those differences and opinions and move forward in life. And I hope that we can all walk away from this still being friends. I know it's rough. You know, we all, like I said, as I've said, we all have a difference of opinions. And with that, I want to thank Ash. I want to thank Umber, Keen, Brian, everybody that came out tonight. Everybody online. I'm not sure. I know Tyrant's still there, but I'm not sure if Umber, is your wife still there? I don't want to. Andy Umby. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I
coming
think
in.
she's still around.
I appreciate you coming in and chiming in, and thank you. And everybody else, if you were watching or listening and you didn't chime in or didn't say anything, I do appreciate you guys came by and listened to what we all had to say, and I hope that soon we can get back together and play some video games, because that's what we do. I mean, that's the beginning of, or that's how Populace Gaming started, to help people. That's our ultimate goal from the core, is just to help people, kids, veterans, service members overseas. That's why Populace Gaming is here. And maybe tonight we didn't solve anything, but we aired out some laundry. And was it a little dirty? Probably. Yeah, it was actually. But at the end of the day, we need to preach love, and we need to preach equality, and not have to use violence to get that point across. With that, guys, I'd like to give the opportunity to you guys to go ahead and where can people find you? If you guys have any events coming up, if you guys just have one final thing to say outside of that current topic that we were talking, that you want to say about who you are, what's going on. Ash, I'm gonna start with you, girl.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, if you'd like, you can follow me on both Twitter and Twitch at AshenLily. I've been kind of typing in the chat on here, so feel free to come hang out. I stream mostly Guild Wars 2 raids Mondays through Wednesdays around 6 p.m. Pacific, but that will be changing come September when I get my once classes start at the college at which I'm a professor at. So that'll be changing my schedule, and I'll figure that out when that time comes. But until then, that is my current stream schedule. I also do fundraising with Extra Life, so if you head on over to my page, you can find my link if you'd like to donate through Extra Life through that page. We're over $500. I'm trying to hit $1,000, and when we hit that, I'll be getting my next tattoo. Last year I live streamed one. I think I might live stream this one also. I also am an affiliate of both Capamon and Kemuki. I can never pronounce the name right. If you want a nice overlay for your stream, click my link, get 10% off using LilyGG. Or if you want your own little robot on your stream that'll interact with your users, and you can unlock like little ones. Like I have a cat on mine who's really cute. You can click my link, and then you can also get your own referral link from there too. And yeah, I generally, like I said, I'm a Guild Wars 2 streamer. If you're into MMOs, come hang out. Also, if you want to learn more about what I do for a living, feel free to hit me up. If you're in the San Bernardino area, yeah, Tyrant, I know you've been telling me over and over, we got to play. If you're in the San Bernardino area, feel free to hit me up. I'd love to give you a tour of my department and my lab. I'm trying to get more word out there, too, on our chemistry department, because it's a lot of fun, and we need more students.
Yeah, so I'm here on Twitch, twitch.tv/Umbersona. I'm pretty much Umbersona on every platform, Twitter, here on Discord. You can find me wherever. I'm an Extra Life streamer. My goal is to hit 2,000 by the end of the year. I'm at 1,600 right now. I mostly stream Super Nintendo games, but right now I'm playing a lot of New Vegas. So I'm working towards I'm in the middle of a competition stream. I'm gonna race another guy through the DLCs for New Vegas pretty quick here, probably this weekend, I'm not sure. But I stream Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturdays in the evenings, usually Super Nintendo games. I'm at 49 Super Nintendo games right now, so as I get more, I stream more. I'm a member of Obsidian Entertainment stream team, and I'm a moderator over on their stream channel. So if you want to check them out, they stream Tuesday, Wednesday nights as well. but yeah, so you can find me on here if you want. I got nothing more to say. Thank you guys so much for having me on.
I appreciate you coming over. Keen, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on all the good socials at Keen Strife, and then at the Scrub Gaming Network as well.
All right.
Keep it simple.
Brian?
Yeah, what he said. No, my name is Most Wanted Max, as you guys already know. You can find me pretty much on everything as Most Wanted Max. Twitch, Twitter, Discord, Battle.net, everything, Steam. It's all Most Wanted Max, very simple. As you guys may have heard already, Populace Gaming, we are doing a 9-hour marathon, so just come on by. I'll be there. Brent will be there.
Don't forget
I
the
don't know if
pan
Keen's
dulce.
gonna be there. I will bring the pan dulce. I promise. I promise.
All right. Yeah.
But other than that, that's where you guys can find me. I usually stream for Populace Gaming every Thursday night. Currently it's 2 Spooky Thursdays, so I'm almost done with Resident Evil 7. So yeah, that's me.
Outstanding. And for those of you guys who have been here part of the podcast, or maybe you guys, it's the first time you swing by and you're like, who the hell is this guy talking? Who do we see on camera? My name is BridgetownBS. You can find me everywhere at BridgetownBS. Always streaming here with Populace Gaming on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And obviously this Saturday from 12 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we're going to be doing a 9-hour marathon. And we're going to be giving away a few things as incentives for people to donate towards the Children's Hospital here in Los Angeles. So hopefully you guys can come out and hang out, be a part of the conversation, jump in on a game with us. We'll see what we can do as far as getting as many people as we can to play with us. But we're hoping that you guys can come on, jump on in. We're going to have live Q&A. So you guys have any questions you guys want to talk about, whatever it might be, we're going to be here for 9 hours straight. So make sure you guys are checking us out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and add us to everything you have here at Populace Gaming. We hope that everything that you heard tonight, one way or another, you enjoyed the tech talk, you enjoyed or got involved with the conversation as far as Charlottesville and all those other controversial topics. But I do hope that you do come back and watch a stream, because at the end of the day, Populace Gaming was started because of its support to want to help other people. And I don't want that ever to be lost. And no matter what we talk about and what we say, what we do, at the end of the day, we are a group of gamers who came together to help raise funds, starting with the Children's Hospital, and we're moving on to bigger and better things to try and raise money for more and more different organizations. And we're not going to stop until we raise enough money for everybody. So I hope that you guys enjoyed what we heard. Once again, Mex we'll be streaming tomorrow at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I know this podcast has gone on a little bit longer than we had hoped, but for good reasons. You know, we got some stuff out there. And on that big bombshell, guys, I just want to say thank you one more time. I appreciate you guys coming out again. Everybody say goodnight.
Good night, guys.
Night.
Thanks for coming.
Hey, good night.
And with that, guys, I appreciate it one last time. Thank you guys for all stopping by. I hope you guys come by Monday through Friday. We're always streaming right around 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Sundays and the weekends, make sure you follow us on Twitter. Make sure you follow us everywhere we are, Facebook, Twitter, and everything like that, so that you know who's streaming and when. With that, guys, I'll see you guys later, and have a good one.